Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Rainmaking Time. This is Kim Greenhouse, and today is September 11th, 2013. We've done a few shows about September 11th from a forensics point of view, and frankly, I've had zero interest in getting involved in the politics, including the formal story of what happened on 9/11. I didn't want to touch it. I felt it was a tar baby, that enough people had done their own investigations about it and had come to their own conclusions. However, 12 years later, I need to say something. This commentary is dedicated to the families, friends, and loved ones of those who passed on 9/11. First of all, I want to offer the families who lost their loved ones on 9/11 my continued condolences. Nothing can bring back your loved one that's gone. How do you become consoled when, in fact, such a horrific thing happened and they died horrifically? The answer for it may not be in the politics or getting involved in the official story. And I'll tell you why. Because in the official story are so many missing pieces, so much of a botched investigation. And unfortunately, the people that are the most hurt are the ones that can't put any type of closure on the event. If you look at the building forensics of the event that day, you understand you're looking at a different puzzle than the one that was imprinted on our psyches on September 11th, 2001. When you have a highly charged emotional event, whatever you see, whatever you're being told gets locked in, as in solidified. Heavily violent or dramatic imagery gets imprinted. Once something has been imprinted that's highly charged, it's very difficult to not operate from it, to not think from it, to not come from its effect. It took me a few years to really get a hold of what was really unfolding on September 11th. I think anybody with good investigative skills, good research skills, who detaches, steps back, and starts to look very carefully at the different elements of the day. There are so many disturbing facets of it, between the reporting in the U.S. and in other countries, to what we were being told, to the messaging that was going on, to the way a lot of things were handled. Not just people that were working in the building lost their lives that day. We lost law enforcement. We lost the fire departments. We lost ambulances and paramedics. We lost bystanders. We lost all kinds of people. And the reality is that even though we bring forth the memory every year, we have this kind of ritual now of September 11th. What's imprinted in our psyche is that there's these enemies. These enemies are out to get us, and that's why we have the Patriot Act, and that's why we have a whole new infrastructure of surveillance that's beyond comprehension now. It's mind-boggling, and those of us who dare to challenge the official story, who notice there's something wrong with most of the puzzle pieces, they don't fit. There's different series of events going on, depending where you look. It is a kind of a tar baby. There's no being right about anything. There's nowhere to go with being right about it. But to observe and to send love and condolences to the families who've lost their loved ones and friends, but not to put closure on what happened. It's appropriate to put closure on those human beings that you lost. But don't let their loss be in vain by closing a door that should be opened. Keep the doors of what happened on 9/11 open, no matter what the reporting is, no matter what peer pressure tells you. Keep the door open, stay in the observation mode, and I'm telling you, if you stay there without the need to foreclose on what happened, you will discover a very different picture than what we were told. Do not allow those human beings and agencies, operations, and organizations to control you via their crafted messaging, their propaganda about daring to take a stance of observation and not accepting the official story of 9/11. Do not absorb the falsity that you're just a conspiracy theorist. This has been a very devious seductive construction of propaganda to elicit social pressure not to dare go there, turning inquiry into something that's inappropriate. Do not allow anybody to defile your ability to inquire when something doesn't feel right to you. The message from It's Rainmaking Time and from me, Kim Greenhouse, today is stay in the inquiry on 9/11 and stay in the inquiry as much as you can on all publicized events in the media, every single one of them. There is so much teaching material in 9/11, before, during, and after. It's an unbelievable treasure chest of teaching materials. Let 9/11 be a teaching tool. Do not look for agreement from friends and family members. Do not look for deep inquiry from colleagues. If you are drawn to do your own inquiry, once you come to an insight, an illumination or series of illuminations, you will know what you need to know. You will see what you need to see. How that day, everything in physics was defiled. Buildings fall in 6 seconds. You don't even have the building materials all there. The top of the buildings turned to dust. All kinds of strange things happen. I've traveled a lot in my life. It's very difficult for Americans, in my experience, to fathom the possibility that this type of event could be a constructed event. That, in fact, there are people that are so horrific, so pathological, so sociopathic, and they may not be the people that we are being programmed to accept are the villains, are the violators, are the murderers. There's not a person I know of that ever came forth in an inquiry about this that didn't get attacked maliciously, marginalized, fractionalized, whatever you want to call it. What I'm saying is, in honor of the people that lost their lives that day, including the men and women who went into those buildings knowing they were going to die, in honor of them, I am asking you, the public, do not close the door on what happened that day. Do not be resolute about what you were told. Question, continue to inquire, and seek a real investigation of your own. Don't expect a real investigation to come from the authorities. If you really want to understand the event, you will have to get it yourself. In honor of all the souls that have passed unexpectedly, we're so sorry you missed this lifetime. We're so sorry the way you died, and it should have never been permitted to happen. But what is the it, and who is the who, still remains to be seen. Keep looking. Roll up your sleeves. Get your own illumination, and don't count on anybody to jump on any bandwagon anywhere. Resolve it for yourself. Pray for the families, their ability to continue, and to have some type of closure with the loss of their loved one. It's rainmaking time. Thank you very much.